Thanks for taking a coffee break with us. My name is Miguel. I work for North Range Behavioral Health. I'm a bilingual mental health clinician. And today we're going to chat about nurturing healthy family communications during this pandemic. Okay, so they said I was going to get thirsty. Anyway, great for you to be with us. So let's talk about establishing good, healthy family communications during this time. I mean, here we are, stuck in this pandemic. Nobody saw this coming. We're all kind of in the same boat, all stuck at home, except for those that have really important jobs or critical jobs. Stuck at home with our families. The kids are home. All right, they're doing their schoolwork from home. And, one can view that in a negative way. One can be frustrated about that, okay? But I would like to offer a different perspective. This is called a reframe. This is what we professionals call is a reframe. I'd like to reframe this for you, okay? Instead of thinking about being stuck at home, not being able to do the social things that you want to do, what if you were to reframe it, have a different perspective about it, and see it as an opportunity, okay? An opportunity to get closer to your family, okay? And the thing about that is being able to have better communication with your family and to be able to foster that within your family. Now, studies have shown that families that have addiction in them, that have those kind of problems, are usually families that are rigid and are disengaged, all right? So they have very strict rules, and there isn't a lot of communication. There isn't a lot of freedom for the kids, okay, to express themselves, to express their feelings, okay? And that's not healthy. And it can lead to the kids someday growing up and having addictions. All right, so that's the kind of thing that we want to avoid. We want to have our kids grow to be healthy people, to be, healthy contributors to society, to thrive, right? And so that can begin with healthy communication within the family. And how do you do that? Okay, well, it can start with, for one thing, modeling good communication. And how are you able to do that? Let me ask you a question. Have you been perfect as a parent? Have you had perfect parents? I can answer that for myself. I have not had perfect parents. I have not been a perfect parent myself. Okay, we all make mistakes, and that's where we can start to acknowledge that. We can start to acknowledge that, hey, we're not perfect people. We make mistakes, okay? For example, when we lose our cool with our kids, all right? We can apologize. We can say, I'm sorry, I lost it. I got upset and I yelled at you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Okay, we can start like that, okay, and just to let our kids know, hey, we're not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes every once in a while, and could you give me a little grace on that, all right? And that's a great start to let your kids know, okay, that you're not perfect, that you do make mistakes, and those are allowed. So, one is allowed to make mistakes. We are, after all, we're all human, okay? So that's the beginning of modeling that kind of behavior. Okay. So I would like to also teach you a communication method, all right, that might enhance, that should be able to enhance, okay, your your communication style and your communication within your family, all right. This particular style, for one thing, it counteracts the way we normally react, okay. Normally, when we get upset or when we're triggered, we just react without thinking, okay. So we just say the first thing that pops into our minds. It could be something very defensive, all right, or it could be something that attacking back, all right. So this particular style, it takes mindfulness, all right, to counteract that kind of reacting without thinking, okay. So this particular method is called nonviolent communication, or NVC, all right? And this particular method of communication has 4 parts to it, okay? The first part is just observation. So let me go through the parts of it first. Let me just list them for you. They are observation, and the second part is feeling, what one is feeling. The third part is needs, expressing one's needs. And the fourth part is making a request. Okay? So, how does it go? It goes like this. The first part is just stating something that you've observed or that you've heard. An observation, making an observation. For example, when I heard you say that, or when I saw you do that. So that's an observation. And the thing about that is that, you're not disputing anything. This is something that, the person that you're speaking with or that you're directing this to, has actually said that or actually done that. Okay, so this is not something that you're going to be disputing. It's just going to be an observation that you've made. So an example is, well, when I saw you do that, or when I heard you say that to me, okay, that is an observation. So that's the first part. Well, the second part is feeling. How do you feel about it? Oh, here's the other thing about this. The thing about this communication method is that it's all about I statements. You're not pointing the fingers at anybody else, all right? And you're not, you're not pointing fingers, and you're not accusing anybody of doing anything, okay? Because that will tend to push them away. No, this is about what you've seen, how you feel, okay? So, it's when I saw you do that, or when I heard you say that to me, I felt this way. I felt hurt. I felt angry. Maybe disappointed. I felt disappointed. I felt mad, or, hurt. Okay, so you're expressing a feeling. Again, it's an I statement. When I saw you do that, when I heard you say that to me, I felt hurt. Okay. And the third part is you're expressing a need. And there's a word that kind of connects it to the next part. And that's the word because. So I felt this, I felt hurt because I have a need. Here's a need. The need is I need to feel respected, okay, or I need to feel safe. You're expressing a need that you have, okay. So let's go over the first 3 parts. The first 3 parts are observation. When I saw you do that, when I heard you say this to me, I felt this way. I felt hurt. I felt mad, angry, disappointed, because I have this need. I have this need to feel respected. I have this need to feel safe, or whatever it is. And the fourth part is to make a request. Well, I would request that, if you're upset with me, next time you're upset with me about something, could you take a time out, maybe for a couple of minutes and wait to calm down, and then we can talk about it calmly. All right. So you're making a request. Okay. Or let's say another example could be, uh, I saw you hitting your sister. All right. And I feel angry because I have this need that I want there to be peace in this family, and I want there to be fairness in this family, and I don't think that's not fair that I saw you hitting your sister. So I'm going to make a request. And my request is that, if you have a problem with her, that you talk to her about it instead of hitting her. Like that, okay? So there's another example of nonviolent communication. Why should we, try to have these types of interactions within our families? Why? I get back to more existential types of reasons. Okay, I believe that life is important, and we have one shot at life. Here we are, and so we're all going to die someday. Okay, so what would you want to say? What will be your regrets at the end of your life? And and it probably won't be. I've heard that very rarely or never does somebody wish that they had made more money or grown a business bigger. The regrets that we have to do with relationships, the relationships that we had in our lives. And so fostering good communication within our families is something that will help us, excuse me, that will help us, okay, maybe avoid some of those regrets, will help us to build those good relationships with our kids as they're growing up, so that we can maintain those good relationships after they're adults, all right? Which is something that's very precious. I know to me, that's certainly precious to me, that I have good relationships with my kids, all right, as they've grown. They're adults now. Okay, so I kind of have this kind of a perspective of what would it be like, all right, when I'm ready to leave this life, and so how have my relationships been, okay? And so I think it's important to emphasize, having good communication skills in the family with your kids as they're growing up, to be able to maintain those good relationships with them. And here we are in this opportunity. Here we are in this pandemic that we find ourselves at home with our kids, all right? How about working on, building good relationships with our kids, getting to know them, allowing them to express their feelings, okay? Allowing them to have their thoughts, express their thoughts, okay? And so I think these are very important things, especially for the growth of a child, to know that this person, this little person in your family has worth, that they are worth being heard, that they do have a voice, and that they do have the right, and not only the ability and the worth to express themselves as human beings and to grow. Okay, so I think it's important to foster good communication within the family, and here we are. We have this opportunity to do that as we're finding ourselves working from home, and our kids are home too, all right? Having to do their schoolwork remotely as well, all right? So take this time. I encourage you to take this time to work on these communication skills, all right, and to help there to be transparency in your communication, and the freedom and safety, okay, to be able to communicate effectively in your family. Remember, we want to avoid being a rigid and disengaged family, all right? Because those types of families, okay, can lead to problems with our kids growing up, especially with addiction, okay? So we only have a few more minutes here, but you know, this communication, this opportunity is thrust upon us, and it's you know, we can use it. We can use it. This could be a time that you look back. You know, maybe your grandkids, or when your kids are old and their grandkids come to them, you know, they'll ask them, what was it like during the great toilet paper epidemic? All right? So, anyway, you know, maybe they could say that that was a time that our family really got closer together. You know, that we grew together as a family. We learned to love each other. We learned to communicate. We learned to express ourselves in good ways to each other, to express our love, to express our needs, you know, our feelings, our frustrations, our thoughts, okay? And this is something that, you know, we can look back, that maybe our kids can look back during this time, and they will view it as a great time. They will view it as a time that they can feel thankful that this happened and that everybody was stuck at home together, all right? And so I want you to use this time and use it and see it as an opportunity. Reframe it as an opportunity, okay, to get closer as a family, all right, to communicate, to learn how to communicate clearly, and to be and safely, okay. So I have a few minutes here, and you know, I haven't seen that. I've seen you know, thumbs ups come up. But I haven't seen it. I guess I haven't seen on this phone. They're asking us to use the phone. I haven't seen comments or anything like that. I haven't seen any comments come across. But maybe that's good, so I wouldn't be distracted. But anyway, please be sure to send. Please be sure to send. You know, any comments or questions. The North Range Behavioral Health. Oh, one thing I wanted to say here before I end. And, you know, thanks a lot for taking this break with us. And we hope to see you for another coffee break soon. In the meantime, take care of yourself and of each other. I'm encouraged by how people are helping each other during this crisis, okay? And how communities are coming together, even though we can't come together physically, right? So take care of yourself and each other, and remember, we're here to help. This is North Range Behavioral Health. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health or behavioral health emergency, crisis counselors are here to help. Call 970-347-2120, or you can text TALK, that's text TALK, to 38255. Or you can walk in to our clinic at 928 12th Street in Greeley. All right? So this is North Range Behavioral Health. This is Coffee with a Counselor. I've got hot chocolate here, not coffee. But anyway, otherwise I'd be up the whole night. But anyway, hope everything goes well with you. Stay safe, okay? And hope to see you next time at Coffee with a Counselor. Take care.